Alright, let's dive into something a bit different today. You know how every week, there's that moment when you're scrolling through your TV guide or streaming platform, and you're like, what on earth should I watch? It's a universal struggle, right? But what if I told you that this week's lineup is actually hiding some gems that could completely flip your perspective on storytelling, entertainment, and even how we consume media? Stick around, because I'm about to break it down in a way you've probably never heard before. First off, let's talk about the why behind this. Personally, I think the way we choose what to watch says a lot about us. It's not just about killing time, it's about what we are drawn to, what we're curious about, and sometimes, what we're avoiding. This week's picks. They're a mix of nostalgia, innovation, and a few curveballs that got me thinking. One thing that immediately stands out is how platforms are blending genres in ways that feel both familiar and completely fresh. It's like they're reading our minds, or maybe just our watch histories. Take, for example, this new sci-fi series everyone's buzzing about. On the surface, it's your typical humans versus technology narrative, but what makes this really interesting is how it weaves in themes of identity and memory. In my opinion, it's not just about the plot twists, it's about the questions it forces you to ask yourself. Like, how much of our humanity is tied to our memories? And if those memories could be altered, would we still be us? This raises a deeper question: are we watching this because it's entertaining, or because it's holding a mirror up to our own fears and curiosities? Now, let's pivot to something completely different, a documentary series about forgotten cities. What many people don't realize is that these kinds of shows aren't just about history, they're about the stories we choose to remember and the ones we leave behind. Personally, I find it fascinating how these documentaries often become a reflection of our current anxieties. Like, why are we so obsessed with ruins right now? Is it because we are subconsciously worried about our own civilization's fragility? If you take a step back and think about it, it's not just a show, it's a cultural pulse check. And then there's the comedy special that's been blowing up my feed. On the surface, it's just jokes, right? But here's where it gets interesting: the comedian is tackling topics that are usually off limits, and they're doing it in a way that's both hilarious and thought-provoking. What this really suggests is that comedy isn't just about laughs, it's about pushing boundaries and challenging norms. In my opinion, this is the kind of content that doesn't just entertain, it sparks conversations. And in a world where everyone's so quick to cancel or applaud, that's a rare thing. But here's the thing: what's most fascinating to me is how these shows are interconnected. The sci-fi series, the documentary, the comedy special, they're all exploring themes of memory, legacy, and what it means to be human. It's like the universe is trying to tell us something, or maybe just the algorithm. Either way, it's a reminder that TV isn't just background noise, it's a lens through which we're constantly interpreting the world. So, as you're deciding what to watch this week, I want you to think about this: what are these shows really saying? Are they just entertaining you, or are they challenging you to see things differently? Personally, I think the best kind of entertainment is the kind that leaves you with more questions than answers. And this week's lineup, it's definitely doing that. What do you think? Are you going to dive into any of these shows? Or maybe you've already seen them and have a completely different take. Let me know in the comments, I'm genuinely curious. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Because next week, we are doing it all over again. Catch you then.